Let's say China.
China.
China. China. China. China. China. You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China.
China. China. China. China. I have to have my China. China. China because China. 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 China.
GM Chinese Ethereum enjoyers. So in this video, we're taking a look at Conflux, an ecosystem overview and a bit of an update as to some of the highlights from recent weeks. So a lot has been going on this network. I think it's going to be very bullish. And as you can see here on screen from the Wiz, June 1st, retail in Hong Kong will be able to purchase crypto. So June 1st, new rulings, ETH and BTC allowed to be purchased by Hong Kong retail participants. So maybe a DeFi summer of sorts over on Conflux is what I'm thinking, but there's going to be a lot of bid around these Chinese coins, and this is the main L1 of China. So brace yourselves, I have a lot to get through in this video. I'll go as quick as I can, but do stick around till the end. There is an airdrop coming for one of the new protocols launching on Conflux, or use the timestamp down below, but make sure you get involved. GMs in the comment section, always welcome. Let's jump in. So first major update here, exciting proposals. We're deploying Uniswap v3 and entering the curve wars with Conflux bridge to Ethereum mainnet. So the name dropping of two DeFi blue chips there, Uniswap and Curve Finance. They state the deployment has the potential of bringing access to millions of new users, particularly in the Chinese and Asian markets. So this would be good for both the DeFi protocols named on screen, but also Conflux themselves, a bridging of networks and participants, if you will. So Box Mining actually covered this one. So there's a few things to go through and unpack here. You've got Binance has integrated the Conflux eSpace mainnet. So this means you can actually withdraw directly from Binance, take your Conflux tokens and ship them into the L1 itself. So that is obviously pretty epic. This can add a load of liquidity into the ecosystem overall. We know that Binance is generally an exchange that is used by a lot of Asian participants. So this kind of works hand in hand. As it states on screen here, Binance support of the Conflux mainnet integration is a major step forward in the crypto industry to help further develop this network. So that goes without saying. We also have the Curve pool has been set up. So there was an on-chain vote, and the Ethereum Conflux, so ECFX, has been added a pool ECFX to ETH. So that is now an open gauge on Curve Finance. So this means you can easily get some Conflux into the Ethereum mainnet. And of course, this is going to add liquidity into the biggest layer one, Ethereum itself, but obviously gives the ability to bridge into Conflux then on the other end. So this is obviously a good ballsy move and shows the intentions of this ecosystem overall. And then down here, we have Uniswap preparing to launch on Conflux. So this is apparently in the pipeline. Again, this is a big name to be getting onto your ecosystem. A real coup, something that can be easily marketed. The name Uniswap coming onto a new L1 is very, very bullish, can't be understated. This will be great for the Asian markets overall. And then Curve Finance apparently going to also deploy on there as well. I've not seen an official announcement on that, but it seems from some of these write-ups, they are highly expectant that Curve is coming as well. That will bring a ton of liquidity to the Conflux eSpace mainnet as well. So these are just super bullish things that I haven't really seen too many people shouting about, but I have been following this ecosystem like a madman as of late. I am highly invested in the Conflux ecosystem and its altcoins. A bit more on some of those in just a moment, because there's some startling differences between the equivalents of these dapps on Conflux versus other networks where they are native. Then we have this one, a huge piece of news. China Telecom has unveiled a blockchain-based SIM card with Conflux. So the Conflux SIM is here. So they're calling this BSIM, so the blockchain SIM card. And this will allow users to store their crypto on the mobile itself, but via the SIM. So it's not like within an application wallet, which would be a little bit more susceptible to being hacked. It's actually in the SIM itself. So you have your public key and your private key on the SIM. Functionality wise, they state such as on-chain data storage, digital identity verification. We know the Chinese are massive on that, and management of digital assets. There'll be a load of file storage capability on here as well. And this will be available on Android and iOS devices alike. Within a thread on this, Conflux posted the safest and most convenient Web3 user terminal entry solution. The BSIM card generates and stores your public and private keys within the card, reduces risk of mobile terminals being targeted by malware and viruses. And down the bottom there, the BSIM card will be piloted in Hong Kong before being gradually introduced to the mainland and overseas markets as well. I don't really expect this to fly in maybe the American markets, but you can see Asian perspective, this is obviously huge. We think about the hype around Solana's mobile. Well, here we have a SIM card from Conflux being integrated with the second biggest mobile carrier in China. Quite bullish. Next up, we have this, an update. So this is the website CNHC. So this is the stablecoin issued by Trust Reserve pegged to the offshore RMB. So this is the Chinese yuan, but digitally on the blockchain. So CNHC, if you've seen this one, that is what it is. But recently, in addition to this product page here, is the addition of Hong Kong dollar coin. So the Hong Kong dollar is also coming to the Conflux eco as well. Very timely with that 1st of June announcement and what's going to come along with that. So if you pile this into the previous announcements around Curve known for stablecoin swaps, and Uniswap, you know, just getting big DeFi blue chips to deploy to this network. And then they're bringing along with them the digital yuan and the digital Hong Kong dollar. This again is very bullish for the Asian markets overall and for this ecosystem. So I think it can capture a large market share of new Asian participants into the crypto scene. Now, a very brief little compare and contrast Conflux here. So this is the bear market blues of Conflux, as you can see on screen here. And this is the previous bear market of Cardano. They look like very similar charts in many ways, but as you can see, Conflux has started to see a bit of a bullish uptick, whereas at the same stage, really, ADA hadn't really seen much going on. As we know, with ADA, it then went on to go over $3, as you can see from the chart here, and it actually reached a market cap of over $90 billion overall, which is rather outstanding. So similar setup as to a previous L1 that has run before, but this of course is a new narrative. If we just look at the market cap, it's never been over $1 billion as of yet. If you do this, which is the market cap of website, and just look at Conflux versus ADA here in a bear market, and ask yourself the question, can Conflux get to the bear market cap of Cardano in the next bull market? I think the answer is a resounding yes. That would put it at $6.09, around a 20x further from here. I know these kind of things are a little bit baity in what they do, you know, just showing you if it gets to this, it'll be worth this, but I think this does hold some value. And I see a big narrative here for the Chinese Ethereum or Chinese Matic, whatever you want to call it, in Conflux. Let's move on to an ecosystem DApp. So Swappy is the DEX on here, the main DEX. And if I just pull up the last 90 days of Swappy, as you can see, it is slowly grinding its way up and to the right versus a competitor, PancakeSwap, which is just grinding lower and lower and lower. New narratives, new coins. That is the message here. Up to the right, down to the bottom right. I'd rather be investing in Swappy, which I have been doing. And if you go to the website itself and you go to the farming rewards, does that not look very similar to what PancakeSwap used to be doing? But it's actually dishing out huge APRs. 65 to 180%, 67 to 199%, huge multipliers paid out in their own token, the PPI Swappy token, the little avocado icon you can see here. This is what stimulated PancakeSwap to go on an absolute mission last run, because they were giving out huge amounts of tokens, getting everyone really healthy APYs, and everyone was just going nuts for that kind of stuff. So this is what Swappy is essentially copying here, but over on Conflux for this next market cycle. So I can see the comparisons there, and I think this one again is somewhere I'd like to be positioned, and I currently am. Let's move on to another dApp. Galado. This essentially is Aave forked on Conflux. Let's go to the chart over the last 90 days. Slowly grinding up and to the right, even though this is highly inflationary, like PPI. Aave chart. Bottom right hand corner is where this is heading. It's just grinding lower and lower and lower, losing value in its Ethereum, Bitcoin, and US dollar pairings. Galado is doing the exact opposite. So I think as we see the incumbents in the industry versus the new up-and-comers, you can see this kind of animal spirit in these new up-and-comers coming from Asian participants, a lot of hype around these things as we get to a point in time where a lot more market participants from China and Hong Kong, etc., are going to be entering the market. I think a lot of these tokens just continue to get sent higher and higher, and this really gets me bullish for the next bull market when you see these kind of compares and contrasts. Now let's just go into this wee quick thread here, unleashing the potential of Conflux Network, flagship.fyi, decent follow to be fair. These guys put together some nice threads, and they say look at some of these ecosystem plays. So there's the first one here I hadn't heard of previously. It's called Comint, a cross-chain minter of assets. So it's essentially a bridge function, and it's brought about by multichain.xyz. So multichain, you've probably used their bridge previously. They've got something here on Conflux, which is rather bullish and shows you big dapps like this also want a slice of the pie on Conflux. Then we have Swappy, which we've kind of gone through, and also Galado, the Aave. Both of these, in my opinion, will go a lot higher. There's then some NFTs here with Neko NFT. I've also got some of that one. ABC pools. This is a proof of stake mining pool. So you actually get to stake your Conflux tokens here and receive other rewards. A little bit interesting, not too much, in my wheelhouse. Dragon Cult XYZ is a meme coin with some Ohm and Safe Moon Ponzonomics baked in. Again, this could do well with the audience this is targeted towards. Moonswap is kind of the second tier DEX, but I can't see it catching Swappy. And there's a few NFT marketplaces on here. Then we have Nucleon, which is the liquid staking solution on Conflux. So if you want to receive APY on your Conflux, you can stake it, get a liquid version of Conflux, and also get paid out in the NUT token on top. So this is pretty interesting, but there's also some new protocols coming very soon. VSwap DEX, RhymeFi, Mold Finance, and the bottom one, FluxFire, is a launchpad, but there's already a launchpad on Swappy over here. So I'm hoping they're going to have some of the newest launches and not that FluxFire. So let's start with VSwap DEX, or should we start with Rhyme? So Rhyme is here, decentralized lending reimagined. So if you know what ChiDAO is, or you know what a CDP is, a collateralized debt position, this is that, but just on the Conflux eco. So you'll be able to take out a loan by locking your Conflux tokens into a vault, and then whatever TVL you choose to use, you will then get RUSD stablecoins on the other side of that. So that's the Rhyme Finance USD. And as rewards, the reward token, the staking token, is called RMT. Interface is here. It is not currently live. As you can see, partners Conflux, Python Network for the Oracle, and Swappy down there as well. So this is why I'm hoping Swappy do the launchpad for this. Within the docs here, flexible collateral options. Rhyme supports both Conflux and CNHC as collateral. Dare we say that eventually they're going to get the Hong Kong dollar on here as well? I would not be surprised if all these things come together. And if you get some of the tokens, these RMT tokens, the distribution is kind of crazy there. 0% for the team, 50% community and ecosystem, 20% for liquidity and staking rewards, 30% for future development. If you then stake the RMT token, you'd get a share of any liquidated collateral. So that would be split between stakers. So this one, of course, sounds very interesting to me. When this does actually launch, I'll probably do a video on this further because I will be aping in. Then we have derivatives coming to Conflux as well. This will be the first derivatives from Mold Finance. Now this was an interesting one because the recent Pyth announcement, which is down here somewhere, Pyth announcing its price feeds for Conflux USD, Mold stating Pyth network is indispensable for Mold. Derivatives platform, Mold relies on oracles as a critical component. So derivatives coming via Mold. So this one will be interesting yet again. And then we have VSwap. So this is where the airdrop is coming into play. Experience a new level of trading freedom. And this is all about concentrated liquidity pools. So public testnet and bug bounty. Let's jump into this. So there's 50K's worth of prizes currently up for grabs. Now this is very simple to get involved with here. There are a few nuances within this. So I think the majority of the rewards are for bug bounties. So this is going to be actually quite hard to spot bugs if you're not a tech head, but you want to participate with the testnet anyway. It says, who knows, your efforts might earn you something rewarding, i.e. come and join our testnet and get involved. Airdrop appending. Further down the bottom of this article, they do want you to follow them on Twitter and Telegram, as you can see down here. And if you can think of any bug bounty related issues, or maybe you've got some nice pointers about something, just fill in the Google form, which is at the top of this. I'll leave this in the description down below. The Google form is there. Essentially, you just come to the eFaucet. There's a link for this as well. Paste your address in here. You will then have to do the capture and you'll get 100 Conflux. Open the application from that Medium article. You can then add the network by clicking the Connect Wallet button to the top right hand corner. It will then import all the data for the testnet itself. You'll get those testnet tokens from the faucet as mentioned, and then you can come on here and start swapping some of the Conflux into these various coins on here. You can then pool them to add some liquidity over here. You can get involved with the farming, and then you can stake some VST if you buy some through the swap page. And what I would essentially be doing is coming back here maybe once a week and just doing a lot of transactions on here, claim more tokens from the faucet, get your reps up on here, fill out the Google form, and hope for the best, because I think they're going to do an airdrop, or they're at least alluding to that. So why not get yourself in with a chance of some free tokens on a new nascent network with a brand new dApp, which could do very well. So I'm highly bullish on the Conflux ecosystem overall. They're putting their ducks in a row and taking them out one by one. DeFi blue chips are coming. They have stable coins attached to China and Hong Kong on their way. Liquidity being added. It's just building very nicely into the next bull, and very enticing for new Asian participants. So I want a slice of this action. I'm getting involved. Drop me a comment down below. Are you guys getting involved as well? I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.
I know China very well. China, 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 China.